On today's episode of the Nostalgia Test Now, we talk about the 2023 action crime drama The Last Deal and see if it will pass the ultimate test, the Nostalgia Test. Based on true events? All right, everyone. Welcome to the Nostalgia Test podcast. I'm your host, Dan Dissinger, here in LA, and I'm here with my co-host and longtime friend, Manny Coelho, there on Long Island. Manny, what's up?
What's what's
What?
going on?
You already okay. And I'm here with the other co-host, longtime friend, Billy D'Elia there in North Carolina. Billy, what's up?
What's up, boys? How's it going?
All right. First thing, spoiler alert. If just I'm not even gonna say like we're gonna first talk the first 15 minutes. We won't talk about this whole movie. We might get to the end of the movie right now. So it's a spoiler alert. Go watch the movie or not,
Yeah.
Whatever.
Watch
Anyways.
it. Support an indie film.
No, yeah, it
Yeah,
is an
support
indie
an indie
film.
film.
It's definitely
Yes.
indie.
Yeah.
It's very indie. So
yes.
yeah. Did
And-
did the I want to know which part was true events.
This
It
is-
may have just been the law changing.
that I
The
think
law-
was it. It had to have been. That had to
Yeah,
have been.
because
Yeah,
there's
like-
no way, dude.
What is
like,
what is the actual like when you say like based on true events, like anything, like the guy woke up.
Well,
Yeah, I don't think
he-
there's no. It's kind of like when we talked about the reboot thing. Like, what are the parameters here? Like, it's a fucking phrase that you can throw out and say. Like,
Yeah.
the law changing was a legit thing though, and like from what I remember reading at the time, that it did fuck a lot of businesses like this where they were
Yeah.
operating in a gray area. And then with most things, the government gets their fucking hands on it, and everything gets more complicated.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
everyone. But it is what it is.
absolutely.
And that's
I mean-
exactly what happened there because they all got to get their fucking piece of the pie, right?
Sure.
So I
Mhm.
think that part, because I remember reading about that at the time because it's such an interesting thing. Like, how does legalization work, right? And all that, the shady shit that happens with alcohol in most of the states start happening with weed in California.
Yeah, so that has to be the true event part. That
Yeah.
it was just that day, the couple days or day right before total legalization in California, which I was living in LA for, and it was crazy. The next day, people
must
were
have been
like
nuts,
standing on. You would walk down the street, and it was just like lines down the block. Right, it was out of hand. And now you walk down the street, and a lot of these businesses are going out of business. Another dispensary just closed, just like a lot of businesses as well, having a hard time. So I think like you're right in terms of how the movie portrays the change from not legalization in LA, though. I mean, the way it was, it's like crazy. It was insane anyway. But going from medicinal to legal,
Yeah.
recreation, there was no real plan. So you could see that was definitely something that was interesting. And they think they got that pretty correct. So I
agree.
think, Manny, that is definitely just based on that true event, because any of this other shit that happened in this movie, if it happened, it would have been on the news. And
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
I
think
mean, like the
any of
dude
this.
getting thrown into the water,
Yeah.
like throat slit. Yeah,
I'm
that
sure
was.
that happens.
I mean, yeah, sure.
I just want to know where in LA along the LA River that was, because the LA River
There's
is
water
not.
in it. There's
Yeah.
never water in it, right?
Well, there
Yeah.
was that episode of Jackass where Johnny Knoxville hopped over that one part of the LA River on roller skates. Remember?
Yes.
But
But usually
most
it's
of
like
the
Terminator 2 where you can ride a fucking motorcycle down it.
that's the part of the LA River I know, and I drive
Yeah.
past that on the bus all the time on the way to work. I'm like, that's got to be where Terminator 2 was recorded.
I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
so was what should we call it? What's the movie with the freaking Italian Job? They
Mhm.
end up going in and
Yeah.
splashing through the LA River.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
it's like a puddle.
yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, exactly,
It's not,
exactly.
not an actual river.
I'm surprised
They,
we
like, put the
didn't
body
get
under
like
the
a
water.
chase.
Like, what water?
Yeah, what
Yeah.
water? I was surprised we didn't get like a chase scene.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
this movie,
Yeah.
no, there was no chasing in this movie. This
Well,
movie,
the budget was
Budget for that
low,
indie
obviously,
movie, yeah.
right?
it had to have
Listen,
been.
some of these reviews are hilarious. Like people did give it a 9.
Yeah.
A timely action thriller, realistic drug trade
Mhm.
film,
Yes.
great piece of indie cinema,
Yes,
epic micro budget film crime.
You know
absolutely.
what the budget was, by the way?
I'm trying to look. I don't see a budget number, but Here's the thing. Some info, just some facts on this for everyone
All
about
right.
The Last Deal. 2023 American crime thriller film written and directed by Jonathan Salimi. It stars Anthony Molinari, Sala Baker, Jeffrey Lauren, Mr. Fitzgerald, Mike Ferguson, and Audra Van Hees. The film premiered at the Boston International Film Festival on the 15th of April in 2022, where Salimi won the Best Director award at the festival. The film later went on to make its Los Angeles premiere at Dances with Films on June 10th, 2022. That is the craziest name for a film
That's a pretty
festival.
funny fucking name. I hope Kevin
Yeah.
Costner runs it.
I hope Kevin Costner does run that. And then it premiered on Stars in 2023. It got a limited 22 theater release in 2022 and 2023, and then it has been received acclaim from critics who's praised the direction, large production scope, albeit the film's low budget, and Molinari's performance, who's the star of the film. And the New York Times put it as one of the 5 action films to stream now.
No.
All right.
Yeah.
What other action goes on besides the guy's like throat? What are we thinking is action?
Well, the
I
ending
think you
scene
could
I
say
think
the
had
whole.
a good ending.
You could say it was an action movie, like because action drama, tension, like that kind of thing.
Sure.
So I don't know.
Really?
We also have a different definition of action movie because I think 80s
Right.
movie all the time. Right?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
it wasn't Commando.
No, and it wasn't.
But you're
And Point
saying the
Break had
end-
a lot more. Yeah, Point Break.
Wh-
If I think of it, even in that scope,
Yeah.
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 But that means that action films. See, here's what I was thinking about this, Manny, and then because you and I have talked about some action films before, even Billy got on as a co-host, and action films that have no comedy. Right? This movie has no comedy. Maybe no intentional comedy.
Oh no,
It's
I
a lot
think
of
it has
unintentional.
comedy. The first
comedy.
scene where he's introducing his bodyguard and like we see a little like boxing going on, like
Yeah.
to show that he fights.
Yeah,
Like, oh, this
yeah.
guy fights, and we train
Yeah.
together,
Yeah.
so that when he needs to collect money, he knows how to fight. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
we need to see that. The thing about indie films, and believe me, I don't want to hate on him, but like,
I mean, you went to school
Dude.
for film, right, Manny? Like,
sure,
if I remember
sure.
correctly.
Like, but this is
Yeah.
why I'm like, oh, this is so indie, where you need to try to explain everything because you
Yeah.
want the audience to know everything that you're trying to do.
Yeah.
I prefer now than just get to the point.
Okay.
Like, and like that the audience isn't stupid. Like, I think I would have loved this movie more or liked it more. I don't want to say love. That's a little high expectation for this movie. There's just way too many scenes that I'm like, what was the point of the scene? Like,
Yeah, that's
what do
fair.
we? What
So
do
the
we?
opening
like, I
monologue
don't-
must have bothered the shit out of you because it went for like I timed it. It went for like almost 6 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah,
While I think it was good, like some of the exposition, I kind of like the background exposition of what's going on with the law in California.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't care about the stuff with, hey, this is now, we box together and he's my boy because
Yeah.
Yeah.
that relationship never like resonated enough for me that I really gave a shit about it because it was
No.
explained away in 2 seconds, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if he was like, hey, here's a 2-minute monologue about what the fuck happened, I'm running this crazy business, then the law changed overnight. Okay, it just went on a little long.
Yeah. Yeah.
That,
and they
that
met,
mean,
they
yeah.
met at court. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, but then again, I'm like, okay, it was budget, right? So like action. First of all, if you're trying to go do an action film in a micro budget, it's hard to
Yeah.
do
Oh, yeah.
anything crazy, right? Because like the fight scenes are gonna look terrible because like
Everything's
you're-
CGI nowadays, bro. There's
you
no
know,
real effects for the
Yeah,
most
and
part,
like
right?
unless you really have a cinematographer that's like gonna be like first person thing and like get like beat up
Yeah.
that way. But I mean, if you're talking about like the certain scenes, like the scene where the daughter comes in to avenge her father's like death and stuff, I mean that's action. I mean there was
Yeah.
some shooting going on there. That's the only time I saw the gun. Even though we got the rifle, we never used it. Like, what was the point of fucking
Didn't they
getting
use
the
it as a
rifle?
bat at one point? He hit
Yeah,
some
he
people
could
with
have
it.
just gotten a bat. He could have just gotten a bat. That's what killed me in some of the things. Is like, why not shoot it? Why
Yeah.
did we
Well,
get
I mean,
the rifle?
That is an interesting point, though. you make about the low budget action films? Because you always hear like of low budget films in general, like indies. Like you always hear the classic story of like when they filmed Terminator, where like James Cameron was like, "All right, I'll walk up and fucking punch the window on the street. I mean, you get out of here before the cops come." So it's like,
Yeah.
who knows what kind of shit was going on with that, right?
Yeah.
Because you're trying to make things on a shoestring budget. Probably,
I mean,
get
even
around
Usual
permits
Sus-
if you can. Not saying they did that, but like you never know what you're having to do, right?
Yeah, I mean, even Usual Suspects, which higher end budget maybe. What's his name had to play the role of Kaiser Soze throwing the match, like
Yeah.
and they just did it in a certain way. Like, yeah, you have to find certain cuts to make it happen. So I will give them that. Like, there are scenes that I was like, all right, now that I'm like taking it back and thinking of it as like, oh, an independent filmmaker who has hardly any budget. Like, we had somebody come to the brewery and do a scene at the bar because he needed a free space. And I was like, yeah, sure, of course. I want to support the arts. The acting was very indie film acting. You know what it reminds me of? It's like as if the actors in Baywatch put on a movie.
Wow.
I could see
Well,
that.
and they added their bathing suits. They put clothes
yeah,
on.
and like they're
right.
like, hey, we're gonna put you in this movie. You're gonna be a drug dealer. You're gonna be a grower. Like,
Baby, I'm gonna say that's even a little harsh for this because the Baywatch acting was fucking awful. I don't know if you guys ever saw the one where Mike Piazza's on it and he's swinging a fucking bat in his Dodgers jersey.
Who swings a bat on the beach?
And Ben Laden's like, "Are you Mike Piazza?" He's like, "Well, yes, I am because I'm wearing my fucking jersey."
Yeah.
So,
and then they even had Hulk Hogan and Macho Man in one of them.
oh God.
No, but Manny, I understand what you're saying because like the main guy, Molinari, he actually, I like him. I
thought he was
thrown by his accent because like I'm like, oh, this movie's in L.A. and he starts talking. I'm like, that is just the most Boston accent I've ever heard in my entire life, and I was like, it was so weird.
He leaned in.
Oh yeah,
It's as if like I went into a movie and like when I'm like going hard on my New York Long Island accent. Yeah. The other day I was out to dinner and someone's like, "Wow, like all of you guys are from the same area, but you have a fucking crazy accent." I was like, "Yeah, you get like 3 espresso martinis in me. I'm dropping." I'm dropping this.
I want to put that on a shirt. Jesus. Hey, you get 3 espresso martinis in me, and
forget about it.
Yeah, I don't forget about it.
Like my wife always knows who I'm on the phone with by the way my accent drops like harder. She's like, "Oh, you must be on the phone with one of your old contracting buddies." I was like, "Yeah." She's like,
half the people that watch this podcast are probably like, "Guys, these fucking New York assholes." Like,
like I don't even want to listen to them.
I'm sure all of our accents get better here because we're all worse here because we're all fucking talking with each other. 100%. You know, like, so
and then her ear just goes to. I'm sure that we're like making fun of the Boston guy. And, and I'm like, that's what we would have sound like in this.
Oh yeah, forget if Mike was on the podcast right now, it'd be even worse.
But I will say, I thought he was the best actor
like
that was in there. I thought he was the best actor that was in there.
He was great.
Some of the other ones were like the dude that played the Armenian. Like that guy was.
What was that?
Rough, bro.
That was rough. That was rough. That whole scene, I have it written down in my notes. Armenian coffee scene. Like
it was very awkward. Like he's like, I'm like, did this guy not know what he's walking into? Like that's the biggest thing because I think I was texting you as I was watching it. I was like, this character, the main character, is a moron. Like he is like an idiot.
Like, I don't know what. Like in the end, it's just crazy. First of all right, let's just
most action
reset
movies are
for a
probably
second.
similar. Like I'm not trying to talk shit about the movie, right? Like it is,
Oh no,
most action movies, people are probably like, that guy's an idiot. Like
No,
but
like
as a character is a moron.
I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, what? Why did all this have to happen?
None of it had to happen.
Right?
Could have just walked away from the business.
Here's why it happened. His friend, who is a maniac, he's a lunatic. We see him punching a punching bag. He meets him. Then he stabbed. Then we meet him in the office where he's roughing a guy up for $10 or $50 or something.
Oh, you're talking about his friend, the boxing friend?
Yeah.
He's
also got the side gig that ends up being the ones that pull off this heist.
Spoiler, but like no one knew that was going to happen. But then we see him stab a guy outside the back of a bar, stab a guy with a screwdriver, walk over to his friend and go, "Here, hide this." And his friend is nonplussed by this. He looks over, he sees him stab him. He's like, "Oh boy, not this again." And he's just like, "What'd you do with that screwdriver?" The next thing he goes, I threw it in a, what do you say? I threw it in a garbage can to pack.
Yeah. And I also maybe I
okay.
missed the exposition at the beginning, but I didn't realize that his friend was like collecting for other people too. So I'm like, why is he stabbing this fucking guy with a screwdriver? Jesus Christ! Like,
Yeah.
I was like, this guy's nuts. I wouldn't be friends with this guy.
The main guy's girlfriend is literally the only sane person in this entire
But she's
movie.
in another movie in some part of this. Like,
Yeah.
What is she doing with that other guy? Who's like taking her out to dinner?
He's an actor or an agent. Yeah.
Ah, okay, got it.
She's networking.
I was like, is this a documentary? Are we watching The Office right now? Are they gonna have, like, a side interview process with these people?
Oh my God. It was crazy. I was like, that bothered me. And I was like, this guy's going to get him in trouble. And of course he did, because his friend's a lunatic.
But then he like disappears for a while, right? He's out of touch. Like, it's like, we definitely had a friend like this, but it's like the dude's like all in, and then he disappears, which I was like, this is shady as fuck. Like, you did something.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, man. And then they meet in like the most awkward like field ever.
Yeah. Well,
and then go ahead.
Well, even before that, he takes them to the craziest loan sharks of all time.
The Armenians, like, who are always like, what was it on The Shield? Remember that show with the Armenian gang members were crazy people in LA? And it's like,
and one guy looks like he's from the Matrix. He has these sunglasses on, and then he signs a contract with them. I've seen a lot of gangster movies.
Why
never
is there
seen
a contract being signed? Who are you going to bring that to? What law?
It says they're going to murder me.
Yeah. What judge is going to be like, oh, well, you signed.
You saw, I guess.
I thought when you go to loan sharks, like, just talking is the contract. Like, just knowing the guy, you walked in, your life is signed away.
That's
you don't need to put ink and paper into this, okay? Like,
you don't have to bring ink and paper into
exactly.
this.
Like, come on, Mitch.
You need a receipt for that donut?
Yeah, like, you're gonna go to the IRS, like, listen, I owe this loan shark debt. Like, I paid it off. I got to pay off all the debt tax that I owe.
Yeah,
what the fuck are you talking about? You get a contract.
The IRS
like, I want your license now.
Another guy with this contract.
But this is what I'm saying. Like, we're dealing, and that's funny with the fact that somebody was like, "Oh, we need to write a contract." Like, no, you don't. A handshake with a gangster is the contract, or just again, like, just the fact that you sat down and you got to be able to talk to them.
Yeah,
they don't need to have a contract saying, "Hey, yeah, we agree." No. We agree. Like, let's go notarize it at the town clerk.
There was no contract. Imagine there was a contract scene.
Mafia,
like Godfather 2.
Bank.
They're in there.
Free notary here.
Henry Hill walks into a bank. Like, is this
like we were in people's court? Like,
oh my God,
this guy. Boom.
Yeah,
boom,
Judge
boom.
Judy is just like,
oh my God.
Excuse me, did you sign a contract? Did you sign a contract? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Did this Armenian guy twist your arm to sign this contract? It's
no, I signed it myself. I just said
void.
fuck it. I just said fuck it to my friend and stabbed the guy with his screwdriver.
Did you feel threatened when you signed this contract?
Yes, clearly.
Oh my God.
And then his friend, like, his buddy's like the shadiest motherfucker in the world.
Seriously.
He brings him to that. He brings him to the Armenians, and he's like, this seems shady. And then he brings him to an even shadier guy, and he's like, fuck it, let's go.
Yeah.
That's the loan shark. Yeah.
What?
I blame I was not sorry that the friend died.
No, he got what was coming to him.
No,
that was one of my favorite scenes. He just
that was like, what is this guy's household like where he's got a girl just taking his shit naked?
Okay, yes.
What was that girl doing before that? Okay, because no other guys were there.
No, because what happened?
Or was he in the shower?
Okay, so here's what happens.
He might have been in the shower.
He wasn't in the shower.
Why was she naked, Dan?
Because this is a rated R movie.
So we needed to see a girl.
Well,
but she didn't have to be taking shit.
Well, she might have just been pissing.
Good point.
If the dude was there, yeah, he'd be taking a shit. Yeah, maybe she's pissing naked. She just
good point. Good point.
Oh my God! But the even before that, when they go buy the weed from the Armenians, 200 pounds of weed is a lot of weed.
That's a lot of weed, dude. And then, like, his friend was like, I could flip this. How fast are you trying to sell this for?
Yeah, it's pushing mad weight, bro.
Like, I'm trying to
Like, had
think.
they ever done this before? Is my question. Like, move
Well,
product that quickly.
Not like that, I think.
So what
That's
was he
the
trying to
idea.
do? So he was just trying to. It seemed as if they had like a whole army of people to sell for them. It was just the two of them.
Yeah, everyone started
And
quitting.
like, yeah,
Because that guy was beating the shit out of him over $10.
I think what was
Look-
funny is like one thing that's reminded me of because, man, you hit the nail on the head. Like, there's like, how are they gonna flip that much product in that little bit of time? Because potheads don't need they're not like, I'm gonna buy a pound. Like,
No.
No.
these guys are gonna be nickel and bagging this the
bro,
whole
that's
time.
what I'm saying. You would need like a army of 25 to 50 people flipping that much
Yeah.
weight.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
unless
Dude, yeah.
they're not,
In a
it's not
week?
like you're selling crackhead. To, like
In a
it's
week.
just-
That's
Yeah.
a totally different movie. That's like Gone in 60 Seconds with weed.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, this shit's crazy. I'm like, you ain't gonna get this done in a week.
yeah.
No
I
matter
thought-
what, they were gonna
No.
fail. This was gonna fail.
Well, I thought the movie was going to be more about that. Like, okay, now they're going to have to sell this. We're going to have a bunch of crazy characters
Yeah.
and stuff like. No, next scene, truck is gone.
The truck is gone, and then they're like,
And he's
wait,
like, what are those
somebody-
guys doing across the street? And then he's like, nah, no, don't worry about it. And instantly I'm like, this motherfucker's in on it. He's screwed.
100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
And he checked
100%.
the back of the truck. I'm like,
Yeah.
ah, scumbag. And the guy's such
Yeah.
an idiot. He like, if I put my money up, I'd be like, yo, let me check this shit out in the back of the truck too, and I want to
Yeah.
see this, you know?
Yeah, no,
Yeah, and I
he's
love
just
how his
like,
friend was like, "Oh, I didn't know. We've been doing it to other people, but I told them like not to us. Like, no, fuck you. You did. You did know.
yeah, of
Oh,
course.
yeah,
he
what
did.
was he trying to?
100%.
But what was he trying to get away with that? Like the other guys, like then why get involved with the other guy?
My favorite
Yeah.
part is there's a man in a barrel in that truck in the beginning scene.
Getting high.
In the beginning scene, he says something in the exposition if you rewatch it. He goes,
Okay.
the barrels, he's like, oh, you could put a body in that barrel. And I'm like,
There you go.
Oh, I didn't even think about
There
that.
was a lot of foreshadowing. I mean, but that's the indie way. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the way to do it. You got again. You try to explain it to people because people are dumb.
Yeah.
But like I again, the biggest pet peeve I have is that there's scenes like I think I texted it to you guys. Like, all right, so if I'm like gonna go from here to my car, I don't need 8 shots of me walking to my car. Like you could just see me like shut the door and then like I'm in my car.
Yeah.
The indie way is like
Yeah.
shut the door, put the keys in my pocket, flip my jacket up, look at my phone, walk, get pictures of my shoelace.
drone shot.
Me going to the door, me sitting down. Like that was just a lot of it too much. Like him going to his mother's house. Okay.
But we can't. Okay, we're gonna
That
jump
scene
around. Let's just jump
Of
around. Go
driving
ahead.
Just
to the
jump around.
mother's house.
Best.
The scene driving to the mother's house.
The best.
The how long it took to get to mom's house.
It was the best.
She
And
lives
then-
in Central California, supposedly, right? So that's not an easy drive.
No, and that's
It's
how long
not.
my mind took to get there.
Yeah, she's talking like Humboldt, right?
Like
that's
they
area.
literally took
It's in
that
north.
long.
Yeah, it's in
Bro,
the
it's
north.
like just-
yeah.
It's like
all
a
you-
6-hour drive, right?
It's
Like,
not-
All you needed is a
close.
shot of the 10. What is it? 101. What's the famous?
Yeah,
California.
101.
PCH.
Sure, why not? The
Right?
PCH, why not? Any of them.
Okay,
Who cares?
get a scene of him driving past.
right?
Pulls up, gets out of the fucking car. No, we get a scene. See him driving.
But-
He pulls up. The girl walks by. Who are you? Where's what? First of all, who are you? This is my mother's ranch. Who are you?
What's
Who
my
you-
name? Fuck you. That's my name. You guys ever
That's
see
my-
Glengarry Glen
My
Ross?
my mom's ranch. Okay, and the best part about the whole ranch scene, which is
He went there to
25
get a
minutes
gun.
long, that he never uses.
A bolt action rifle.
What are you going to
He
do with a bolt
never
action rifle?
Uses.
Yeah, I mean, it was like a 22.
I'm going to repeat.
He's like, I need the
They
bolt
use
action
it as
22.
a
I need a
bat.
flesh wound. He probably
Yeah.
It's probably does more damage as a bat, to be honest.
Probably.
The only way you're
Probably.
killing some of the 22s is you shoot them in the head and it somehow rattles around their brain.
Yeah, and like you telling me the mom wasn't like, "Oh, you came to get a gun. Let me get you a better gun. I have more. I live on a ranch in California. I have more guns."
He's like,
Like-
go get that gun from the ranch whore.
Also, why? Yeah, why?
Ah,
And yeah,
That
she's
chick's
like,
like,
I
hey, I
use it to
saw you for 3 seconds, and I'm gonna try and fuck you.
that was the
well,
craziest
then I was
scene.
wondering why that chick is there. Like, what is she doing there? Well, you know,
She's
like
supposed to work, I guess,
she
without a
she's
bra
just like,
and
is
big
the
old
mom?
titties flopping around. Like
Yeah,
that's
the mom. I was like, yo, is the mom like a rehab person? Like, she just gets like random people who show up and they're like, they put her to work. And then
But
she's like, yo, we use this to kill coyotes. She's like, I see the way you look at me. And he's just like, can I just get
He's
the
like,
gun?
yo, what are you
That-
talking about? Like,
that was the
fuck her in
best.
3 minutes, lady.
that was
Damn,
the
you're
best.
crazy.
Because that guy, the main character, he was just as confused as everyone watching. Like us, I was sitting there going like, wait, what is she talking about?
Yeah.
What is he's trying to get the gun? And his face, his reactions in this whole movie are the greatest things I've ever seen. Every time he's faced with an issue or something happens, he's like, oh God, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like in that scene, she's just like, she turns around, takes her shirt off, and he's just like, oh God, oh my God, I just
Yeah.
need this rifle. Just
Yeah.
get me this
He's
gun.
like, I just
I'm
found
here-
out I'm about to have a kid. You know,
which
like,
we have to
give
go
me
back
the-
and talk about that scene.
Yeah.
But like,
Oh, I forgot about that.
but that's what I'm saying. Like in this movie, they wanted it to be an R, and fine, they did a
Yeah.
good job.
Sure.
But you had the one nude scene, the girls on the toilet. Like those, you wasted it.
Just
Yeah.
have her in the bed with their titties out. That's all you needed, you know? Like, do that.
Yeah.
Like every scene in The
With
Shield when they
titties out.
break into a house.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Every time.
But
Classic
every time.
movie.
With
How many times in 80s
girl,
movies someone like run through a bedroom and someone's like, oh, and you're like, oh,
Dude,
yes. That's like,
that
do
scene
that.
with
In
the
Point
girl with the
Break.
gun.
In Point Break, Keanu Reeves gets his ass kicked
Yes.
by a woman who same
Who's
thing, running
naked.
through the hallway naked. She's
Yes.
an unbelievable stunt coordinator. She kicked his ass in that film.
Destroyed.
Yeah.
Dude, the the scene with the ranch girl,
The
he's
ranch
hitting on
girl.
him the whole time. She's like, "You here alone? Oh, why didn't your girl come? Oh, she's not here." And like she's like sitting there as the mom's talking about, "I want grandkids or whatever." Oh, always liked her. The girl's like rolling her eyes. Then I'm like,
Yeah.
"What is like?"
Yeah.
This is what I have to like think about that. Like this girl's been on the ranch for a long time. She's
my
obviously horny as fuck.
Yeah.
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 And she's looking for whoever showed up. Like it didn't matter who showed up.
No.
Like she was ready to go.
Absolutely. 100%.
Why the whole scene? First of all, he walks into her room. I forget, was she there already, or she like comes into the room?
I think she came into the room. He went in
Yeah,
there to look for
she
something.
goes, yeah, you should go because the mom's like, oh, I think the gun is in blah blah blah.
Yeah.
That room.
Didn't he run into her outside and she's like, oh, yeah, come on with me.
Oh,
I'll help you
yeah,
get
Oh,
that
yeah,
shit."
right,
that's
right,
it, okay.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. But then that's all he goes through, and then he doesn't take mom's money. I would have taken mom's money.
Yeah, I would have taken the $5,000.
Just take the $5,000.
Just take it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Why? What do you? The whole scene was a waste of time. Just take the money. You're trying to get as close as possible to pay this guy off. First of all, again, you made a deal for a week, which is insane. You never pulled this off before.
No.
Like that's crazy. What are you trying to do? And how much money was he looking to flip?
Oh, they were going to make
He
a lot
needed-
of money.
I think he said it was like 5X or something like that at some point, right?
Okay,
Because when he was
Mhm.
crunching the numbers, he was like hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt.
got it.
Yeah.
And then he's like goes back and forth into this like one dispensary that I'm like, what is happening?
Oh, the
Um,
grower.
Oh yeah, that guy.
That guy is the worst
His
actor.
buddy, yeah.
That guy. I'm
Amazing actor.
thinking he was just a real grower, and I'm
Yeah.
thinking when he did that scene that was like the scene from Blow where they get on the plane, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That the guy he met, I believe, is probably also a real grower up in Humboldt County.
You think?
100%. It has to be. It had to be because like I think they filmed on a real farm there.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I mean,
All
dude, I'm looking at my notes. There are notes that I'm looking at and I don't understand what they were from. One of them is the sand truck is crazy. And then this bus montage with cuts is insane. Very normal for the LA bus. I don't know what any of these are pertain to. And then there's this other scene, there's this other note. Scene of him eating? Question mark. Like,
Bro,
I
that's
don't even
what
remember that.
but that's why I'm saying, like, some of these things I get, like, as an indie film, like,
uh,
what are you trying to fill in? And I guess that's the thing. Like, not all of it needed to be in there. And I
no,
think it would have been less stress.
but it was only an hour and a half long.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then the movie would have been 45 minutes long.
sure.
So
Then
it's,
you then put in other scenes, like more action.
Oh man, the whole
Just
like a
farm scene.
rocket launcher is what they needed.
All right, so let's
Can
talk
we go
about
back
hold on. I want to. How far back do you want to go? You want
to
to
the
go back
pregnancy scene? We
Okay,
have to
go on
talk
now
about
because I
that.
want to talk about the Hitman because he's a fucking terrible Hitman. But
Oh yeah, but
Go.
like, can we go back
Let's-
before any of this gets crazy? They throw more stakes in the movie, which is fine. Like, let's
More
throw
stakes.
Yeah,
more
you
stakes.
got to have the guy something in the mix. Otherwise, he may have fucked the chick with the gun. Who knows, right?
Right, exactly. So,
But maybe that scene came before, and then like it wasn't in
and
chronological
then they
order
edited it
shot,
like
so
they're,
they edited it, like-
but like
I'd be
so.
wondering otherwise if he wasn't pregnant and she looked like she was like flirting with that other guy. I'd be like, why didn't he fuck that chick?
yeah.
Yeah, he was like so uncomfortable in that scene on the ranch scene.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was just
Oh,
like,
my
"Oh
God.
my god, just
He's
get
like,
me
get
this
those
bolt,
big titties away from me. Like,
Yes.
Jesus.
get me the bolt action gun. I need to get out of here and never use this gun." So
Yeah.
his girlfriend, who was in a different movie, and she was good. She was in a different movie though. She's like, "I'm pregnant," and his face is just like, "Are you sure?" She took 3 pregnancy tests. Next scene, he's in a
He's going to get his
pharmacy
pregnancy test.
looking at pregnancy tests to buy. He gets a phone call from his friend, and he's like, "I'll be right there." And he picks a pregnancy test off the shelf and purchases.
Doesn't he say he picks up the phone like, what the fuck do you want? And the woman's like, what the hell? And I'm like, I talk
Yeah.
like that in the store all the time. Like, do people give me looks like that and I just don't realize it? Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
They do.
it was so crazy. Then there's a scene of her taking the pregnancy test he bought. So he didn't run to his friend right away. He's like, "I'll be there." Next scene, they're back at the apartment. She's taking another pregnancy test to prove to him that she's pregnant. And then he's
Yeah.
like, "I got to go watch my friend get killed."
Dude, what about the first of all, doesn't he touch it and she just peed on it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That happens in
Yeah.
everything. Anytime
Yeah.
there's a
probably
pregnant,
happens
everyone's
in
like,
real life, I would imagine.
That's
too,
probably
right?
why it was like done. But like there's this what about the scene with the inspector who's eating out of that paper bag and like he just drops it on the floor and the main character like as the guy he picks it up and he looks at him like, "I can't believe you just littered." I'm like, "Of course he littered. He's a piece of shit."
Yeah, that was like, well, I wonder too, is like when you're writing it, are you like, all right, this guy's a scumbag. We need to like show that he's a piece of shit. So you write
Yeah.
that in, right?
So
Yeah,
that's it. Like, oh, he
absolutely.
doesn't care about anything, and he's really not listening to him anyway. He's like, and that probably did happen. Like when he needed to over explain to us, the audience, when he was like, "This is the last time I have to pay, right? Like, no more inspectors are going to come, right? I'm not gonna have to pay every inspector that comes." And the guy's like, I don't know. I mean, like, yeah, like that probably happened a lot.
Yeah,
where
no.
everybody was just looking to get bribed. Like,
And-
Oh, I'm
that's
sure,
it.
dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
and the
Get that cash money.
licensing. Yeah, the license shit is so difficult. Like, it's so hard for just a solo entrepreneur in
Oh,
the
yeah.
cannabis industry in LA to get a license for a dispensary. All the dispensaries are like big corporate ones or like Woody Harrelson. Like
I'm
he
sure
was,
it's like
it was
New York
easy
where
for
you got to
him.
know someone to get a liquor license or pay someone at the table and
Yeah.
shady shit like that, right?
Exactly. So that part that part was very true, and that makes sense as why he might take a risk like this. But the fact that he takes it in the most insane way was like
Yeah.
wild.
That was the problem I had was like, I felt empathy for the character at first because it's like, oh man, like he had a pretty nice setup under the rules of the time, right? And then everything changed and he's trying to make it work. But then his decisions just kind of got stupider and stupider where I'm like, come on, bro. Like,
Oh,
don't
yeah.
do that. Don't trust this guy. Don't trust the Armenians. Don't trust this shady guy with the slick back hair and black sunglasses on. Like, what are you doing, bro? Come on. Common
Yeah.
sense. You got punched in the head too many times boxing.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
What about the guy? There's the one scene when right in the beginning when they're trying to collect from this one guy and he tries to grab the weed or the money from him and run away, but he gets caught. Like such a funny, awkward fighting
Yeah.
scene for no
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah,
Right.
he goes and sells that bag to that like weird kid in the beginning or that like I
Yeah.
guess musician and I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, this is the most LA thing ever. A lot of this was filmed near me too. Like
Was it?
the scene
Yeah.
of him and his girlfriend after the guy gets stabbed by the screwdriver, and they're taking that nice walk down Sunset Boulevard at
They're
night. Like,
taking a nice
Yeah.
walk.
yeah,
Nice walk down Sunset at night. Yeah, that's
that's right. But I walk on that. I walk down there. There's a cafe like a block from there. I was probably doing work at that cafe while they were filming this movie. And there's like that. They were across the street from like Guitar Center. I was like, oh my God. But that's,
Yeah,
you know,
I want to get to the not
Go
to
ahead.
talk too much about it. This movie anymore.
oh
The
my God.
the hitman that
oh
his
my God.
friend
dude.
tells to get.
Yeah, that
right?
guy was
So-
terrible.
Why are you scoping out this house with lights on?
Like,
You're
right in
not
front, he's
being
like parked in front of it
right
essentially
in
too.
front,
Like,
dude.
Yeah.
Like it's just a terrible hitman, and he gets caught. Like, so we're kind of told that this guy's a good hitman, but the Armenian guys are that much crazier.
Yeah.
but look at the guy that he ordered it from. The guy that owns like a shitty Cessna and just flies up to like make weed runs all the time. He's like, I know a hitman, and be like,
Yeah.
all right, like,
Yeah, I know
maybe
this
not
guy.
the most reliable person to order it from.
No, and he's the guy that he leaves his girlfriend with, who's pregnant. He's like, just hide out with this guy. It's like what?
Yeah,
He
that
just
gave
gave you
me
the
the shittiest hitman ever.
yeah, and of course
Yeah.
his girlfriend gets kidnapped.
Sold.
Of course,
Of course she does.
yeah,
We knew that was coming. Some of the stuff was predictable, but I will give it credit in the fact that most action movies plots are very predictable. Like you see where
Yeah.
things are going,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that Hitman was so funny. I thought at that point we were in like a Zucker Brothers film, because I'm like, this guy, he might as well pull a rubber chicken out of his pocket and like try to kill someone with it. Like that's how crazy hilarious it was. I was like, he's dead.
His daughter was better.
Holy shit, that was a good scene.
That scene was good.
I didn't see that coming.
Oh,
that
I
was
did not
kinda
see
cool
that
either.
coming at all, and I thought that was good. And I like her like code of finding out if he was a good guy or not. She's like,
Yeah,
you know, why'd you hire him? What did he cost? And like,
yeah,
you know, that, and like, you know, he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. And she's like, yo, he knew the life. Like that,
Yeah.
you know, she was okay with it because she's got that, she's living that life too.
yeah. She's like, I got to get back to John Wick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, I just wanted to avenge my dad's death.
Yeah,
And,
because I
you
was
know,
watching that scene, and that scene was great. Because even the biker that was in that scene, that guy was good too. And I was sitting there going,
Yeah.
"How's he gonna get out of this fucking thing? Like, how?"
Well, yeah, that's why I thought it was really unexpected. I like that scene.
Yeah.
That's my favorite
Yeah, that
scene
was a
because
really
it
good
was like,
scene.
oh shit, like because he wasn't gonna get out. That was all luck right there,
yeah.
and it was all luck that that dude had a daughter who he shared, who he told was a hitman. Like he trained. Think about it. He trained his daughter to be
Oh,
a
yeah.
hitman.
That's the movie
You
I
did
want to
mention
see.
it though that he does have like right. He said like I have one person. They have like a GPS on me or something. My protege
Yes.
he called it.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
That's right.
So-
Speaking of that
Yeah.
biker guy, I did like that guy. I thought he fit in well, like the role.
Yeah,
100%. That guy was actually really good. He knew.
He was really
knew
good.
what was going on.
yeah.
That
Could be like an
Mike
extra on Sons of Anarchy.
Yes,
Mike
exactly.
Ferguson.
Yo, Mike, you need to be on other shows. 'cause
He's a
you were
tattoo
good.
artist turned actor who, in a short time,
Yes.
has become a prolific and invaluable staple in the independent genre films and beyond.
Nice.
Wow. His early roles include the TV show Death Squad, the film Triassic Hunt, and memorable scenes in the Timothy Woodward's American Violence and Silencer. All right.
Makes
Interesting.
sense.
I mean, he was scary as fuck.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
wish he was
I
in
agree.
the. I wish he was in the last scene
Yeah. Yeah. But,
because
That
that
would've
scene
been
needed
cool.
help.
he got
That
taken
scene
out.
needed help.
Yeah,
That
I would
last
agree with
fight
that.
Sorry,
scene.
but the house like it was too empty for such a big gangster.
I
And I
just
get
remember
it.
he pulls up and he's like, "All right, park right in front." Let me
With
get
the
my gun
lights
out of
on.
the back seat.
With
and
the
I'm
lights
like,
on.
bro, he's right in front. Like,
Yeah,
how does
he
this
killed
guy have
the
no one out
hitman.
front? What the fuck, bro? Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on here? And
Well,
then
they're
like,
two down.
yeah.
They're two down already because Biker Boy and two are
Yeah.
killed. So they're two
Right.
down, and those are the two guys that caught the hitman. So they're already missing two. So how much henchmen did this guy have? Like three? Because like he goes through the house, and there's only like three other people that he fights to get to the bedroom.
Well, I love the fact that, and I feel like this happens in a lot of films like this, like in a lot of action movies, that the bodyguards for bad guys, they love to just chill and watch TV. Like
Yeah.
there's always a TV on, and they're always hanging out. Like
It's
watching
in every movie though. You ever notice that? Like
Yeah.
it's like the lackeys are like the dumbest fucking people in the world.
they
Yeah.
always
Like,
get
oh
killed.
man, I'm just sitting here watching Judge Judy, watching this and fucking not paying attention. Like
Dude, that's
Judge
funny
eating
when
Judy.
you say
eating
that.
some greasy food. Like,
So that's funny you say that because I just watched the last episode of the White Lotus.
Uh-huh.
I heard that
Right.
was good.
Spoiler alert.
It was fine.
It was fine.
I enjoyed the first 2 seasons better, but this is total spoiler alert, so skip over this part. There's a scene of the guy who owns the hotel and his bodyguards. Right, the guy who owns the hotel wants to take a picture with this famous person. This other guy comes up to the guy and pulls his gun out of his holster, and the other 2 bodyguards are on the 2 other sides of this bridge and smoking cigarettes, like making them like dumb. Like you would think if you were a bodyguard, you're like heads on a swivel.
Oh
whole
yeah,
time.
that's what you're
Even
getting
if
paid
you're
for.
smoking a cigarette, like you don't get paid to chill. You don't get paid to look at your phone.
No.
Like, but yet,
Yeah.
even in this show, Billy, which isn't an indie film, they're making the freaking bodyguards look like idiots.
Everyone's always an idiot, you know?
Yeah.
Oh
It's
my
it's
God,
like
that's
idiot
so
henchmen,
funny.
but I guess that's why they do that job because they're
Yeah.
not very smart. But I agree with you. That last scene would have been helped by a bigger threat because even like the head guy, like I didn't find him that intimidating. Like I didn't love that actor either. Like he felt like someone that they slicked his hair back and threw glass on. They're like, "You're tough." Like he didn't scream tough to me, right?
No.
Like, so it would have been good if like that guy comes in, but then the crazy fucking tattooed biker guy's there. Then I'd be like, "Oh shit, man, he's got to fucking
Yeah.
fight this guy." Like
Because,
that's
like,
the climax,
Maybe the head guy isn't a mean guy. He's just like knows how to like hire mean guys. Because like he wasn't that like why wasn't he in the bedroom waiting? Like where was he in the house? Like all of a sudden he just like pulls up and like why isn't anybody like in front of that door? It was just like way too easy to get through to the final boss, in my opinion.
Yeah,
But I
was
get
really
it.
weird.
It's low. It's low budget. You probably only had 3 other extras. But I would have thrown in like camera crew. I would have been like, yo, you got to fill this house with just dudes holding guns. And
But
like,
then he would
use the
need-
gun.
But okay, but here's the thing, and this is what I thought was going to happen.
Okay.
I agree with you. There should have been like way more people at the boss's house. But then that would have meant that for me, I would want to see then the daughter of the hitman then team up with him and help him. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Like she came out of nowhere.
Exactly. Because then you might have a really
Shootout.
insane action scene, right?
Yeah.
But again, they worked with what they had.
Yeah.
The girlfriend had superhuman powers. At some point, she just ripped those fucking things apart. Did you remember that scene? She
The
took
zip
she's like,
ties?
"Krah!"
Yeah. Yeah.
That was unbelievable.
She's actually related to Superman. We just didn't know.
Yeah. She just didn't want to show
Yeah.
her power off.
No, she was just
So
like,
right at
oh
the
man,
end.
my boyfriend
But then
is
she
just.
can't like figure out the rifle, and she's just like
Well-
juggling with it. I mean,
Well-
like then you could argue he didn't shoot it, which is good because then the noise would have like set off
That
more
would have
alarms
triggered
and
everyone else. So
stuff
I
like
get
that.
him not doing that.
Yeah.
At the beginning. I guess the other thing we need to remember is that unlike a lot of action movies that like we're all very like we grew up with the greatest action films ever made in our era, right? So like
Yeah.
the lead character is always like a fucking badass. Like whether you're talking about Arnold or fucking Stallone or like the Lethal Weapon movies where like Mel Gibson's this crazy guy's taking people out. Like there was always like a badass, right? Whereas
Yeah.
this guy's just a fucking guy, right? So it's
Yeah.
almost like
Yeah.
what would happen if just a fucking regular dude was in this situation? Now, granted, we've all watched enough action movies, so we wouldn't park right in front of the house and take the gun from the back seat like that.
No.
No.
But like maybe some people would, right? I don't know.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
guess I'm
adrenaline. Billy, you're right. Like adrenaline's rushing. Maybe like this is what real life action is.
Yeah.
Like
Well-
sometimes you use the gun, sometimes you can't figure it out because you're sweaty and it's
Yeah.
whatever. So you have
It's
to
a
just
fucking bolt action
use
rifle.
yeah. And
Like
you just
some
have to
of the-
use.
There's probably
you
no
use
ammo
it-
in it.
Yeah,
It's
and you
fucking,
use.
I didn't
yeah,
see
you
a
didn't check.
magazine on it. It's probably a one bullet bolt action.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you just use it as a weapon at that point.
That-
You just use it as a bat, which he did. You like, so I get it. Okay, I get it. I
Well,
like
and
it.
that's the thing. I think I think you're right about this guy. He's just the everyday dude, right? This is why things like Die Hard work, right? Like Die Hard's great because it's the everyday guy. You could beat the shit out of him, and
Yeah.
then it's no one cares, right? That's why, like, we talked about this on our episode about reboots and them rebooting Running Man with Glenn Powell, and I'm not that angry at it, though. I'm like, why are we doing this anyway? But
Yeah.
originally that was supposed to be a part for Patrick Swayze. Like, he auditioned,
Yeah.
he was going to be in the Running Man, and to me that makes more sense because you're like, how's he gonna get out of this? Arnold is just gonna, like, break a whole building.
Muscle his way out of it. Throw
Exactly.
a fucking saw blade at your head like in Commando. Which, by the way, we should probably do Commando at some point.
Right. No, we have to do that. We have to do Predator. But, like, I think, like, this guy, it would be hilarious if this movie, like, if this was John Cena or like The Rock, like, not that they would be in an independent
But
film
someone
this,
like
but
that, yeah.
someone huge, like, in stature. It would be like, why is he having trouble with this guy? Do you know what I mean? Like, we'd be like, let's go. Instead, at the end of this movie, you get, which is, I still don't understand in action movies, when, like, the good guy gets behind the bad guy while they're killing someone else, like he was choking his girlfriend, and instead of stabbing him in the head or something, he stabs him in the shoulder. Like, what are
Always
we doing
happens.
here?
Always
Hey,
happens.
what are we doing? And then he's
Adrenaline,
so
dude.
tired from stabbing him in the shoulder, he falls down again. And then
Well,
his,
that's the
his
thing. Like, you could argue that, like, if these guys are everyday people, they're not training to fight that long. Like, and if you ever been in a 3-minute wrestling match,
yeah.
bro, you're exhausted,
No, you're right. You're
right?
you're
So when you
absolutely
have
right.
two humans that aren't training,
Mm-hmm.
although he was fight training a little bit,
Right.
Yeah.
you're like, you can't fathom the adrenaline, the fatigue you get within 3 minutes,
Right.
especially
Plus-
when someone's going at you at the same strength or
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
So like it's like real fighting. Like, unless
yeah.
unless this guy's, we saw him training a little bit, but he's not. It's not like he's running every day.
No, he's a weed dealer. And
Yeah.
that's the one thing. Like, that's the best part. It's like
Yeah.
they have the intensity of a heroin movie. Like the stakes are that high where, like, it's like, this guy's weed. This is weed. This is
Yeah. That
And
is
I'm
one.
not
I
saying
didn't
there
think about
probably
that.
isn't a crazy weed black market like this where whatever, but the weed movies we've seen, aren't, the stakes aren't as high,
Tell that to Pineapple Express.
well,
But like,
Fair enough.
I'm gonna say, what's crazy is at the end when he's just a grower.
love
I'm like,
it.
so it all is like, all that was for nothing.
Wearing
All he had to really do is be
Glasses.
like, yo, I'm
Beard.
gonna stop all this, and I'm just gonna go from where it all started. I love growing. This is
File
what I
for
like
bankruptcy
doing.
with the business, and
And just now that it's legal, you can just grow and get paid to grow and have a sustainable life for your family.
I love that he's drinking a juice, like a green juice.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
here's my favorite part. He's dressed like Marty McFly at the end.
Yes, he is. I'm just telling you, like, do you think he feels bad that his friend died? Oh well, yeah, he was paying for his
little sister's college.
little
That's
sister's
right.
college because
Yeah.
he's like, oh, he would have liked it.
He's got the
But
boot-
again,
he's
I'm
got-
like, why are you
yeah.
being so nice to this guy? He set you up.
Totally fucked you. Like, whether he said
Yeah.
or not, like, that guy set him up. No doubt in
Yeah,
my
that
mind.
guy was like shady
Let's
as
ask the
shit.
director if that was the intent there or not.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
read that incorrectly.
Yeah,
Like,
he's got
I
the-
don't think
yeah.
he's a great friend,
No.
but maybe
No,
I'm
he was a
reading wrong.
terrible
He actually
friend.
didn't want him to get fucked over.
No,
Like, 'cause he was like, oh, I told him not to. I didn't think they would fuck with this one.
We fucked other people like that, but I didn't mean
But-
to fuck you. Like,
But the ultimate question: where's the weed? Where did it go?
I think the Armenians just took it back.
see, and they
You think?
disappeared. That was the best part. Like, not only did they take the weed back, but
Yeah.
they just fucking vanished. Now the other guy should know where they are because he works for them,
Yeah,
doesn't
Yeah.
he? He works for everybody, the dead friend.
Exactly.
yeah. Well, that's
But they
why I
kept it.
thought it was crazy that it was like, in the end, like, the weed dealers just shit. We're not even talking about them anymore.
In the
We're
wind.
only talking about the real threat here was the loan sharks.
Absolutely.
I
That
agree.
was
The
it.
loan sharks.
Yeah,
Those
And
guys
he-
were just there to rip him off from the beginning. I feel like the Armenian guys.
yeah.
Then his friend doubled down on fucking him by getting involved with the other people.
Which is crazy.
Which is
like,
crazy.
Which is crazy.
But what's crazy
Double
about
shadiness.
the thing about like the loan shark mentality, like, oh, I'm just gonna kill you, but you still didn't get the money back. So you killed somebody, you didn't get the
It's
money
about
back.
principle. It's about principle, Manny.
Got it. Like
no one else will
like
fuck with
instead
you
of
again,
going
man.
after the guy, the owes money, like go after the people who stole the weed. They have the ability to make the money back with
Yeah.
that.
I think it's more just like the principle that, like, hey, it's on you is the one I mean, I probably would have gone
Sure.
after his wife first,
Oh, not his friend.
Get him to pay you the money.
Got it.
Dude, the end
Yeah.
of this movie is great.
True,
And then we have to
Billy,
like
true.
close this episode out real quick. But like
Yeah.
I'm watching it in silence right now. The
Okay.
girlfriend like stabs the guy and kills him. She's a badass. Like so
Oh,
Badass.
yeah. That was
like-
fucking cool.
she's basically like, I gotta take care of this shit.
Yeah.
Like
And this guy's married above his station, by the way. Let's be honest.
100%. 100%. He's on the ground and then she goes, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "I made a mistake. I should have hired you as my hitman." Ha
Yeah.
Some comedy. You just murdered someone. He's telling jokes, right?
Yeah.
Then
He's lighting the
His
mood.
baby got brought into murder.
Yeah. And then she's pregnant. Yeah. And
Yeah.
then this is the best part. In the exposition, like the voiceover as this is going on, another joke. Now get me to the hospital. That's another joke, I guess. And then he goes, "In the end, I probably should have just gone out of business. It would have been
Yeah.
easier that way. But it is what it
Yeah.
is."
But it is what it is. He's so
Love it.
laid back about it.
Just because he's high, bro.
So
Oh,
here's
wait, no,
the
he
thing.
doesn't smoke weed. I forgot about that.
No,
Yeah, he
he
doesn't
doesn't.
smoke it.
He just
No.
vapes the whole movie.
The whole movie.
Yeah. I thought
The
he was
whole-
smoking weed at first. And then when he's like, no, I don't smoke. I'm like, oh, it's a nicotine vape.
Yeah.
That's better.
Dude, and
All right,
then
where's you?
Yeah.
the
Oh
just thinking,
man.
like, this what if this was real? Where's this guy right now?
He's
And
growing,
what
bro.
happened? You're telling me the Armenians didn't have friends that now know that this guy's dead?
But they already got
just-
what they need, right? So they didn't need shit from him. They got the money, they got the weed back. They're fucking in the wind. They don't care about this schmuck.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's the
And they
craziest
stab the leader, and then they just leave the house. Like, are cops gonna go there, or are we just gonna go down as like, oh, it's just a gang fight?
I don't
guess.
know how he got away with
Yeah,
it.
good point. Did he just leave? Like, it was his mom's gun that was. I guess he didn't shoot the gun.
But he
No.
broke
But there's
10,000
DNA
laws.
everywhere, dude.
Yeah.
There's DNA everywhere.
We're just supposed to accept at the end that he's fine and that
He's
he can
fine,
get it
growing
Yeah.
legally, and he's
somewhere.
kind of fine.
Yeah.
Like, and his wife killed somebody.
His wife killed someone. He
His
killed a
best
few
friend's
people.
His best friend's in the low rising.
His best
Hey,
friend
man,
is
life-
somewhere in the LA River.
Life is good now.
Life is great. I have the beads. He has like Buddha, like the beads, like those
Yeah,
Buddha
dude.
beads
Like,
on.
he dressed like a total
Yeah.
hippie,
Yeah.
but he doesn't smoke weed.
No,
Bro, he should
he's
just,
just like
be a grower. He should have just done that from the beginning, though. Like, he seems like he doesn't care about things. He goes with the flow. Like,
Yeah.
why not just be like,
yeah.
Fuck it, business is closing. Move
fucking
on.
business?
Well, it feels
Yeah.
like his shitty partner talked him into it a little, but he needs to
True.
he needs to have a little less influence.
That's really
there,
what it
so.
was. This is a cautionary tale. When your friend is a fucking asshole,
Yeah.
you
listen
know
to them.
it.
Yeah.
Don't listen to them.
Well, don't
We've
we
all
know
learned
that?
that lesson many times, right?
Bro, we could make a movie like this.
Totally
Based
was
on
thinking
true
about the
stories.
same thing. I was like thinking about the same.
Just remember the memoir thing that we were just talking about? Billy, you weren't on this episode, but we were just on with the long take review, and Dan and I got into a story of one of our friends or ex-friends that thou shall not be named, and they were like, "Holy shit, this should be." You should just have memoirs of
I'm sure.
of events that happened with this guy. But like
It'd be
now that
crazy.
I'm thinking about it, like you could literally say based on a true story and just do like 75% of the what actually happened, and then we
Yes.
just get into some crazy shit. Because some of what I saw in this movie, I'm like, he would have gotten into this.
Yep.
He would have
Oh.
thought this was a good idea.
Yes.
Yeah, and we
Like-
would have been that other guy.
Bro, like the time that we were at dinner and we all gave him money and he's like, "Oh, give me the money. I'll pay with this money."
Yeah.
And the money, like, come on. That's
This
crazy.
is all gonna become something soon one day.
All right.
But it's
It
like
will.
Okay, so here we are. We're at this
Boys, I do have
moment.
to jet actually,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna
All right.
go.
Does
Are
it
we
pass,
saying?
Bill? What do
Billy,
you think?
what are your
Um,
thoughts?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
Look, I thought it was. I didn't think it was a terrible movie. I'm not trying to talk shit about it. I just thought there were ways it could have been a little bit better. Like for an independent movie, I thought it looked really good. There were some good scenes, but overall, I'd say it doesn't pass for me.
All right.
All
All
right. What
right,
would you give
Billy.
it in a to C rating as an independent?
C to C plus.
Okay.
Okay.
So, all
Okay.
I think
Cool.
that's fair.
Yo, go
right,
Jet.
I'm gonna jet
Talk
though,
to you.
Go
boys.
Jet.
Talk to you soon, bro.
All right,
Peace.
good talking,
Peace.
boys. I'll talk to you later.
All right.
Later.
All right, Manny.
Yeah. All right. I'm kind of agreeing with Billy. I don't think
Yeah.
it passes. It's I laughed at it in my critical eyes and ears and everything the first time. Then I watched it again and I sat down and watched it more of like a film major. And I was like, I get what they were doing and the art in it. And
Yeah.
I definitely think it's good. It's good for an independent film. It Now that I'm thinking about all what goes behind it all and low budget and all that stuff, they did do a good job. Their action scenes were good for what they had to work with. So I'm gonna give it a B minus C plus.
That's where I'm going towards, leaning more towards a B minus. I
Mhm.
don't think in terms of our test, like the nostalgia test now, where it's just like in 10 years, where do we see this movie?
I find it hard
I,
that
it,
independent films go anywhere anymore.
yeah, it's really difficult in this era. I think for this movie to continue to keep its head above water, you have to like understand, like you have to have fun with it like this. Like I think you
Yeah,
can have fun with this movie. Look at the crazy scenes, do some fun like
showings.
midnight showings and stuff
Yeah,
like that. And hey, last deal, we're down to host those things.
yeah. I
Like
think I think you could definitely get this to be like a cult like kind of like
yeah,
not. I'm not insulting them in this way, but like the
no,
room did. You know how like the room got this like critically acclaimed
yeah,
like marketing that happened. Like
yeah,
it's definitely worth that.
yeah, no,
In like
100%.
that, some of the scenes you're like, what the fuck?
And
Like even the
yeah.
scene that we laughed about with the stable girl, you're like, why is this Why is this in there? But like, it was a character. It was a scene. It
Out
was a
of
lot.
Absolutely.
You know.
And I think
So
like and that's the thing, like I see why this movie would have won some awards and stuff too in terms of directing and stuff like that. It's a well shot movie, it's a well directed movie, but again, it's limited with its budget. And the today, I feel like this has that 80s feel in terms of like what it is. And up against what people are watching all the fucking time, it's really difficult for this to kind of gain what it has. But I give a lot of credit to all the people involved in this because when they reached out to us, like it was crazy, like that they're getting, a lot of different podcasters talking about it, and we had a good time with it. And we're looking forward to because we're gonna have another episode, a special episode coming up with as well with the people from the last deal as well.
mhm.
But I agree. I think this is in its B minus range in terms of
And these are
the type of movie it is.
just the last thing. You know that these were all of them were stuntmen. Like a lot of them were
Yeah,
stuntmen. They all just wanted to put a movie together.
yeah,
So like now that you're looking at this, like some guy writes like epic micro budget crime thriller, right?
yeah.
Like was told by his filmmaker friend this was low budget, no permits, no
It
permits, dude.
that makes
So like
sense.
they had to go and make this and just like this is like
Absolutely.
guerrilla marketing, guerrilla filmmaking style. So like
Oh hell yeah.
I gotta give them that. Like
Absolutely.
to be like, hey, we're just gonna do all this and just
Yeah,
go with it. Like
yeah.
that's and like pull off some pretty good scenes. So
Absolutely. Yeah. And
yeah,
and again, like Anthony Molinari, I saw him on Abbott Elementary. He was really funny. He's been in a lot of stuff, but thought he was really funny in that as the bus driver in that. He fit right in. He was really funny. And I would say shout out to all the actors that were in this. I mean, really, I mean, they did what they did. They did everything that they could do. And truthfully, in that, I love that part. I
yeah,
give them a lot of credit. People need to be out there making stuff. And we always say
yeah.
that like we want to see more new movies, new independent films. And You know, the last deal is one of those, and I give, people a lot of credit. The guy who played his friend Bobby, Mr. Fitzgerald. I mean, the guy, it was one of the craziest best friends ever, and he was in the Penguin for 2 episodes as Richie.
Oh, he was.
Yep.
Damn. Okay.
Yep. And
Yeah,
yeah.
listen, man, I have to say again, um, there's some scenes that I would have cut as an editor, to make things move faster. But if you have no budget and you shot all this film, you
Yeah.
shot this, you have it,
Yeah.
right? And you're maybe even a cinematographer who's like, yo, I want to show that I can do this kind of work.
Yeah.
Like, this is a good resume. Like, I
Mhm.
could get this kind of composition. I could get the scene, the look of this, the guys walking from here to there. Like, I get it now. Like, I was mean at first with this, so like I get it, but
But
definitely a
that's what
solid
we
B
do.
minus. No, I
And
know,
is the
I know.
It's not
It's
that we're
definitely a B
mean.
minus. Yeah,
We're just, we're having fun with it. And I think the thing is that's I think if this here's what I'll say. If a movie is really bad, we usually like almost have zero to say about it. And there's nothing to talk about. It's just
yeah,
boring. Like
sure.
when we talked about the Santa Claus, like
Oh my
it
God, we stretched that one,
yeah, because that movie was boring
and it was a
and
high
dumb.
budget film.
And that was a high budget film with high budget actors. And that movie was trash. I
Trash.
would rather watch this movie. And I'm saying I would rather watch this movie against a few movies. So this was, this movie had everyone
I'd
swung
like to
for the
know what was
fences.
happening in that room when the girl was naked taking a pee or
That
shit
well, I
before.
guess we'll ask our special guest when we get to like interview Sue because I would like to know about that scene. I have no idea
And
about
like,
that scene.
what's
The
the
stable
artistic
girl,
view
what
of that one?
point? Like what is
Why
going
is she
on?
there? Why is the stable girl there?
That was a
And
weird
why is she
scene.
so hungry for it?
And
She's thirsty.
like,
She
do
is
they have a
thirsty.
history?
She
Like he
must
was
have.
just so
She
confused. He was like,
is.
"Oh boy, here we go."
Yeah. And then the mother just takes in random girls who are
He
looking.
was so
who-
angry. His mom.
I know. I know.
Like, did the
She
brother
wanted. She
die?
wanted grandkids. She never even told. He never even told her. Yeah, the brother died. But he
Oh,
never told her. He never told her that he was pregnant. That he had a
no.
baby coming.
Would you? She's crazy.
The mom?
Yeah.
She wasn't that crazy.
I don't know. Here's why I think she's crazy.
Okay.
Look at her. Look at the help she hired.
She just likes to help people. She like rescuing puppies. She was rescuing puppies. The puppies were loose.
Oh my god. All right.
All right.
Well,
Guys, check it. Listen,
check it out.
If you
It's on
listen,
Tubi.
I hope you didn't listen this far, and spoiler alert. But just go watch it and see if we got this
Yeah.
wrong. Were we too harsh? Should
I
we give
mean-
them a break? We probably were a little harsh.
we're from New York.
Yeah, I lost my independent, mini movie guy feelings, and
Well-
I came back. It came back on the second time I was watching.
I'll say this: they had it looked really good. These shots were beautiful.
Oh my god, the camera, whatever camera they used,
Yeah.
was fucking great.
If you want to see an indie movie that was shot like trash, edited badly with no sound, no nothing, it was so fucked up. You could watch it. It's called Birdemic. That
Yeah.
movie is horrifying, and that guy that made that movie has made so much money because it's so bad. This movie is well developed. They had an idea, and
Yeah.
they did, and it worked. It's just a lot of driving scenes that I think could have been edited down.
Dude, I'm just rewatching the trailer, and the camera was sick. They did, whoever the cinematographer was, phenomenal job.
Yeah, absolutely. But well, Manny, another good episode. Billy's already gone. He ducked out to go do whatever he's doing.
Plays hockey
Plays hockey. That's
on
right.
Mondays. We make him come and hang out, and then he goes and hangs out and
Yeah.
gets drunk with his little hockey buddies. Or is
But,
it ice hockey? I don't even know.
I think it is ice hockey. Shout out to Dominic Lopez, who is the cinematographer for the last
Dominic
deal.
Lopez.
Dominic Lopez shot, let's see, since then, where is it? I don't know. Yeah, no, The Last Deal. He's done a lot of. He's Gray Rabbit TV series. He's a director on that. Cinematographer, 32 credits on that. I mean, he's he's really good, and truthfully makes sense. I mean, the film looked really amazing. It looked beautiful.
Yes.
So, but Manny, here we are. See, another good episode. Everyone, follow the podcast. Follow The Last Deal. Give them some love. Give us some love. And subscribe. We got a lot of great episodes coming up. But see you on the next test. Peace. Peace.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. Please subscribe to the Nostalgia Test podcast to know when new episodes drop. Don't forget to leave us 5 stars and a positive review so more people can find the podcast. Share your thoughts and memories on today's topic on our Twitter at Nostalgia Test and on Instagram at The Nostalgia Test. Tune in next time because you never know what pop culture will pop up on The Nostalgia Test.